Chosen one, pause right here. This moment is not random. You were divinely guided to this very word. Heaven has been calling your name, whispering in the silence, aligning every step to bring you into this revelation. You are standing at the threshold of a supernatural transfer, the moment where faith becomes fruit, where prayer turns into provision. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. The season of scraping by has ended. The era of divine funding begins now. Anointed one, the Father has seen your endurance. He watched every night you held on when there was nothing left to hold. He counted every tear, recorded every act of obedience, and now the heavens respond. The Lord declares in Philippians chapter 4, verse 19, that He will supply all your needs according to His riches in glory through Christ Jesus. That promise is being fulfilled over your life. Chosen one, this is the hour when heaven invests in your destiny. You're not waiting for resources, they're waiting for your readiness. Take a breath. Lift your hands. Something sacred is shifting. God is funding your life from this moment on. Chosen one, take a deep breath. Feel the weight of this moment settle over your spirit. You didn't just find this word, it found you. Heaven has been arranging this encounter from the beginning, and what's about to be revealed is confirmation, not coincidence. Something sacred is unfolding in your life right now. You've been through battles that few could endure. You've been tested in silence, refined in pressure, stretched in faith, and somehow you're still standing. That's not survival, that's proof. You passed the test. For a long time, it felt like everything was breaking. The finances, the relationships, the opportunities, all of it seemed to crumble at once. But what looked like breaking was really making. God was shaping you for stewardship, preparing your hands to carry what your heart had been praying for. Every disappointment was divine strategy. Every delay was protection. You thought you were being forgotten, but heaven was finishing your foundation. Chosen one. The truth is, your faith became a currency in the unseen realm. Heaven counted your tears. It measured your endurance. It watched you keep believing when logic said it was over. You didn't realize it, but your faith has been accumulating interest. And now that spiritual account is being released. This is not about chance. This is divine economics. You are stepping into a season where heaven funds what faith built. I know what it's like to live through the hidden season, when you give more than you have and pray harder than you speak. I've walked through nights where provision didn't make sense, where somehow the bills got paid, doors opened and strength appeared out of nowhere. That wasn't luck. That was the unseen hand of God carrying me through famine to teach me that He, not the paycheck, was the source. That same hand is about to lift you, chosen one. The breaking wasn't punishment, it was positioning. You were being prepared for trust at a higher level. The reason it hurt so much is because heaven was stretching your capacity to hold more. And now heaven declares the testing season is over. The account is full. The transfer has been approved. Divine funding, spiritual, emotional, and yes, financial is being released over your life. You'll start to notice it in the smallest ways. Unexpected help, timely favor, a peace that feels unexplainable but undeniable. That's how heaven moves quietly but powerfully. When God steps into your story, He doesn't just repair what was lost, He multiplies what was left. Chosen one, you're stepping into supernatural sponsorship. You won't have to chase opportunities anymore. They'll start to chase you. You won't have to prove your worth. Favor will speak your name before you even arrive. The same Spirit that carried you through the storm is now ushering you into stability. The same angels that caught your tears are now carrying your blessings. So pause right here. Feel it. The drought is ending. The wilderness is behind you. What was withheld is being released. The heavens have authorized the flow. And as this new chapter begins, remember what God is about to fund in your life isn't just provision, it's purpose. Chosen one, listen closely. The wilderness you walked through was never punishment, it was proof. Proof that you could be trusted with what's coming. Proof that your faith wasn't for show, but substance. Heaven doesn't promote without process, and you've been through the process. Every night of uncertainty, every prayer whispered through tears, every moment you chose obedience over convenience, heaven saw it all. When you gave, even when giving hurt. When you stayed kind while being misunderstood. When you kept sowing seeds of love in soil that looked barren, that's when God started writing your next chapter. The season that once felt empty is now becoming evidence. You didn't just survive the drought, you learned how to hear God in the silence. And because of that, He's releasing divine funding not as a paycheck for performance, but as recognition of faithfulness. Anointed one. There's a divine rhythm unfolding around you. The pressure is lifting, the atmosphere is shifting, and the very same God who sustained you through scarcity is now multiplying your supply. I can almost see it. Doors that used to stay closed are beginning to unlock without effort. The places that once said, "Not now," are turning into "Come forth." Heaven has signed your name on its ledger of provision. Let me tell you something I've learned walking with God. He will often let certain sources dry up, just to remind you who the true source is. When one brook closes, He's already preparing another. The raven that fed Elijah wasn't the provider, God was. That's how divine funding works. God will redirect your supply to remind you that you were never dependent on people, positions, or paychecks. You were dependent on His promise. Chosen one, that's what He's doing for you right now. The same grace that kept you standing when everything else fell apart is the grace that's now releasing overflow. You're moving from survival to sustainability, from scarcity to strategy. Heaven is underwriting your purpose. You'll walk into rooms where favor has already paid the bill. You'll meet people who are already assigned to bless you before they even know your name. That's how divine orchestration operates quietly, precisely, supernaturally. And I need you to understand, this provision is not random. It's calculated, custom-made for your assignment. God doesn't fund what He didn't author. If He gave you a dream, it already carries its own budget in heaven. You're not waiting for resources. Resources are waiting for your readiness. The moment you move in faith, heaven moves with you. Chosen one, the famine is finished. The test is complete. Heaven has stamped your name with approved for abundance. The oil is flowing and the provision is following. You won't have to strive for this. What belongs to you will locate you because obedience has opened your flow. So lift your head. The breaking made you, the waiting shaped you, and the proving prepared you. Now comes the release. God isn't just blessing you, He's establishing you. You are entering a divine flow where peace replaces panic, where favor replaces effort, and where grace becomes your new gravity. Chosen one, hear this with your spirit. You are no longer under the weight of man's economy, you are aligned with heaven's. The systems of this world are built on limits, but your source has no ceiling. For years you've been asking, Lord, when will my time come? And heaven's answer is unfolding right now. You've graduated from survival lessons into supernatural stewardship. The season where you scraped by is over. The same God who once fed you with daily manna is now teaching you how to manage abundance with peace. I remember a time when I asked God, why does the blessing seem delayed? And He whispered, because I'm building the heart before I build the house. That truth changed everything for me, chosen one. God delays not to deny, but to develop. He needed your heart to be strong enough to hold the harvest. He had to make sure your motives could carry your miracle. That's why you faced rejection, not as punishment, but as protection. He was removing what couldn't survive the season of overflow. Anointed one, you're about to witness what divine economics looks like. It's not addition, it's multiplication. Heaven doesn't pay you back the way people do. It compounds your faith into favor. You're stepping into a rhythm where what took others 10 years will take you 10 weeks, where effort turns into ease and grace multiplies what your hands touch. This is the supernatural flow that begins when God Himself becomes your financier. The Spirit is saying this: you have been faithful in lack. Now I can trust you with plenty. You didn't fold when the pressure came. You didn't curse God when the doors stayed closed. You learned to worship in the waiting to praise when provision hadn't yet appeared. That's what made you qualified for this next dimension. Heaven funds faith that doesn't flinch. You'll start to notice divine synchronicity, opportunities aligning without effort, doors opening that no human could orchestrate. The call that changes everything will come at the right time. The partnership you prayed for will appear without struggle. It's not random, it's recognition. Heaven recognizes obedience, and obedience always attracts provision. I've lived this, chosen one. I've watched God move resources from unexpected places. A conversation that turned into an opportunity, an old contact, suddenly remembering my name, a closed door that forced me to pivot into purpose. Every time I realized it wasn't about the money, it was about the message. God was showing me that when He funds a calling, He funds it through faith. Now the same will happen for you. You're entering a realm where blessings flow without burnout. The same energy that once drained you will now deliver you. Where anxiety once lived, assurance will stand. You'll no longer chase provision, you'll attract it through alignment. Heaven is saying rest, not rush. Flow, not force. Chosen one, the tables are turning in your favor. The scarcity that once mocked you is about to testify for you. Every delay becomes a down payment. Every detour becomes direction. The time of wandering is over now. Comes the time of walking in what was promised. God is not just sending provision to your hands. He's restoring peace to your heart. You are not striving anymore. You are being sustained. The same angels that carried your cries are now carrying your confirmation. The drought is done. The divine economy has begun. Chosen one. This next chapter of your life isn't coming through striving. It's coming through surrender. You've done your part. You've endured, prayed, stayed, faithful and trusted through uncertainty. And now heaven is stepping in to do what your effort could never accomplish. You are entering a divine exchange. Your obedience for God's overflow. Your patience for His promise. Your tears for His testimony. Heaven has recorded every moment of faith that cost you something, the times you gave out of your last bit, the moments you encouraged others while secretly fighting your own battles, the times you chose to believe when nothing looked believable. Those sacrifices were not wasted, they were sown into the soil of your next season. The divine ledger has reached fullness, and now the release begins. You may not see it all at once, but the shift has already started. The Spirit of the Lord is moving behind the scenes, aligning divine appointments and redirecting provision. It will look like coincidence, but it's not. It's orchestration. Someone will mention your name in a room you've never entered. A door will open that you didn't even knock on. That's the sound of divine acceleration, heaven's way of redeeming time. Anointed One, when God funds your life, He doesn't just replace what was lost, He multiplies it. He restores with interest. You've been in what looked like delay, but delay is just divine timing disguised as detour. The very thing you thought was holding you back was actually holding your blessing in perfect alignment. When heaven says now, no force on earth can say later. I've seen this happen before. In my own journey, there were seasons where I thought I had missed my moment, where doors closed and opportunities slipped away. But when I finally stopped trying to push and started trusting, things that once felt impossible began to happen naturally. I learned that when God funds something, He also fuels it. You won't have to beg, you won't have to barter, you'll simply be guided. Chosen One, that's the new rhythm you're entering, divine ease, the kind that flows without friction. You'll feel it in your spirit first, like a quiet knowing that everything is falling into place. That's faith maturing into manifestation. You won't panic anymore about what's next, because you'll start to see how every piece was already prepared. God is not improvising your life. He's implementing His plan, and this acceleration will not just touch your finances, it will touch every area of your life. Peace will find you again, ideas will return, relationships will align. The same voice that told the sea to be still is calming the waves around your future. You'll begin to notice divine order in everything. Even the timing of small things will feel supernatural. Anointed One, heaven is saying you have been faithful with the little. Now I am trusting you with much. What's being released isn't random, it's a reward for readiness. You're not just entering a new season, you're stepping into divine circulation. The blessing won't stop at you, it will flow through you. God isn't just funding your life, He's funding your purpose. Chosen One, stand still in peace. The divine exchange is complete. You've moved from proving to possessing, from waiting to walking. Heaven has accelerated your timeline, and your yes has unlocked your flow. Chosen One, you are now standing in the current of divine flow, the rhythm where heaven and earth move in agreement. This isn't about chasing blessings anymore. It's about learning to live in alignment with them. You're being invited to operate from rest, not from rush, because when heaven funds something, it sustains it without strain. This is your time to move in grace, not grind. There's something sacred about this flow. It's not loud, it's not chaotic, it's calm, but powerful. You'll begin to notice how certain things just start fitting together almost effortlessly. Where confusion once clouded your path, now there's clarity. Where resistance once pushed against you, now there's rhythm. That's how you know the Spirit is moving, not through pressure, but through peace. Chosen One, the enemy has been attacking your mind with fear, anxiety, and doubt because he knows something heaven already confirmed: your overflow has begun. Every distraction was meant to disconnect you from this divine flow, to make you question what God already settled. But you've learned to be still, to wait in faith, to stand firm in silence. And now that same stillness has become your weapon. When you rest, heaven works. When you trust, supply begins to move. That's divine circulation, not a transaction, but a rhythm. Just like rivers never run dry, as long as they keep pouring, you will never lack as long as you keep giving. This is not the season to withhold, it's the season to release, because what you release in faith returns multiplied. Anointed One. This multiplication won't only touch your finances, it will touch your mind, your health, your creativity, your relationships. Grace is expanding in every direction. You'll have ideas that carry divine intelligence, words that carry weight, and peace that cannot be explained. You'll find yourself walking in rooms where you don't compete, you complete what's missing. That's the mark of divine favor. I've experienced this kind of flow myself, those moments when you stop chasing and start receiving, when you realize that every closed door wasn't rejection, but redirection, when you look back and see that every no from the world was a not yet from heaven. That's when faith matures into gratitude. And gratitude, chosen one, is the key that keeps the current flowing. So bless what's left, not what's lost. Bless the small beginnings. Bless the little oil, the handful of flour, the unfinished dreams. Because heaven multiplies what you honor. You've been faithful with the fragments, and now God is preparing to fill the baskets. This flow doesn't require striving, only stewardship. The moment you start thanking Him for what's here, He begins multiplying what's next. Chosen. One divine flow means you'll no longer be drained by what's not yours. You'll know when to let go, when to say no, when to stay still. God is simplifying your circle, streamlining your focus, and refining your priorities. Everything unnecessary is falling away, not as loss, but as lightening. Heaven removes weight before it releases wealth. Stay in this peace. Move at heaven's pace. You don't need to chase anything. What's meant for you has already been dispatched. The blessing is en route, the funding is secured, the evidence is forming. All you must do now is remain aligned. You are in the flow, anointed one, and grace is multiplying through you. Chosen one. This next wave that's coming isn't just provision, it's strategy. Heaven is not only releasing resources to your hands, but also wisdom to your heart. Because what God funds, He also fortifies. He is teaching you to build something that lasts. You are not being blessed for convenience. You are being commissioned for legacy. Anointed. 1. Many of you have wondered, how will I sustain what's coming? How will I handle the increase? The Spirit says, you won't handle it. I will teach you to steward it. God never pours into chaos. He first brings order, then overflow. That's why this season has been about structure. He's been aligning your finances, your mindset, even your surroundings, preparing you for greater capacity. I remember when God began to shift me this way. I wanted instant answers, quick growth, and visible fruit. But He whispered, I'm not just blessing you, I'm building you. That's when I understood divine funding isn't only about money, it's about maturity. It's about managing peace like a treasure, protecting your focus like a fortress, and walking with wisdom like a crown. Chosen one. What's coming will require calm leadership. You are being raised to govern blessings, not just receive them. Heaven is teaching you kingdom management, how to operate from strategy, not stress. This is why certain connections fell away and certain doors closed. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection toward alignment. God is pruning you for precision. Every yes and every no was part of His blueprint for your expansion, and now the blueprint is unfolding. Divine replacements are appearing. What you lost is returning, but stronger, purified, and perfected. The same way Joseph was promoted after years of misunderstanding, you too are stepping into a position of stewardship. What once looked like humiliation will now become honor. You will distribute what once you begged for. That's divine reversal, the evidence that heaven has endorsed you. Anointed one, there's something even deeper, generational restoration. The blessings that bypassed your ancestors are circling back through you. You are not just being funded, your bloodline is being freed. Curses are collapsing, limitations are lifting. You are walking in prayers prayed by those who never saw their fulfillment. Heaven has chosen you as the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. You are the hinge between what was and what will be. You'll feel this shift in your energy. Old fear patterns will break. The scarcity mindset will dissolve. You will stop asking, will it happen, and start declaring, it is happening. This is heaven's strategy to transform doubt into dominion. The Spirit is upgrading your discernment to recognize divine timing. You'll know when to move, when to wait, when to speak, and when to stay silent. That inner peace will be your compass. Chosen one. Heaven's funding isn't chaos, it's choreography. Every connection, every resource, every revelation is arriving in perfect sequence. You won't have to force anything. God is synchronizing your steps with your season. What you once chased will now choose you. The rooms that ignored you will now request you. The people who doubted you will witness your distinction. So lift your eyes. You're not just walking into abundance, you're walking into authority. The same God who provided manna in the desert is now providing management in the promise. The foundation is set. The structure is strong, and the legacy begins with you, chosen one, heaven's investment in motion. Chosen one, as you move deeper into this divine flow, the Spirit wants you to understand that true abundance begins with alignment. Heaven is not just sending blessings to your doorstep, it's teaching you how to host them. This next phase is not about movement for movement's sake. It's about divine positioning. You are being trained to live in rhythm with the will of God. Anointed one, when heaven funds your life, even your timing becomes sacred. The Spirit begins to coordinate your steps with precision. That's why certain things that used to frustrate you, the delays, the closed doors, the unanswered prayers, are now starting to make sense. They were not obstacles. They were orchestration. Heaven was holding back what would have broken your rhythm and releasing only what could sustain it. I remember when God taught me this truth. I was in a season where nothing seemed to move forward. Every plan felt stalled. Every door I knocked on stayed closed. But in the silence, I started to notice small patterns, confirmations, nudges, numbers, phrases repeating themselves. That's when I realized heaven wasn't ignoring me. It was instructing me. Divine alignment often looks like divine delay. But once I learned to rest instead of rush, everything began to move again, effortlessly, gracefully, and in perfect timing. Chosen one, that's the power of stillness. Be still and know that I am God is more than a verse. It's a lifestyle. Stillness is not inactivity, it's inner agreement. It's the moment when your faith stops fighting and starts flowing. In stillness, heaven speaks clearly. In stillness, provision finds you. When you stop striving, the supply begins to stream. This is what the Spirit is showing you now, how to operate through peace. The world equates success with speed, but heaven equates it with surrender. You are being called into divine calm, the kind of quiet that carries authority. You'll no longer chase what's yours. You'll attract it through alignment. Doors will open simply because your energy matches their purpose. Relationships will form because your spirit recognizes its mirror. Anointed one, the enemy fears your stillness because it's the proof of your maturity. He can't manipulate a mind anchored in peace. That's why the last few seasons were filled with noise, urgency, and pressure, all designed to pull you out of rhythm. But you've learned to hold your center. You've learned to pause, pray, and perceive before reacting. That's what makes you unstoppable. And here's the revelation. Peace is the power that protects your provision. When you keep peace, you keep the flow open. Stress restricts, but surrender releases. Anxiety interrupts abundance, but rest restores it. God's economy moves through faith, and faith thrives in stillness. So, chosen one, take this as instruction. Before every decision, pause. Before every response, breathe. Before every move, listen. Heaven is no longer shouting at you, it's whispering. Its direction is gentle but exact. The next idea, opportunity, or connection will come quietly, not in chaos, but in confirmation. Anointed one, you are no longer reacting to life, you are responding to destiny. Heaven has established your pace, and the pace is peace. The moment you honor that rhythm, doors that once resisted will swing open on their own. This is what divine maturity looks like, authority anchored in stillness. Chosen one, breathe in that peace now. It's not emptiness, it's evidence. Heaven is moving through your quiet. You've stepped into a season where stillness becomes strategy and calm becomes currency. Every step you take from this place will be ordered, orchestrated, and overflowing with grace. Chosen one, this is your moment of completion. The long season of testing has ended, and heaven is announcing your promotion. What once felt like endless waiting has turned into holy arrival. You've walked through fire, you've endured famine, and you've stayed faithful when no one saw. Now the heavens declare you passed. The breaking was never meant to destroy you. It was shaping you to hold what's being released. Anointed, one God is not simply restoring what you lost. He is rebuilding you into someone who can never lose again. The pieces that once felt scattered are aligning with divine precision. What used to be confusion is now confirmation. Every rejection, every closed door, every unanswered prayer was the hand of God redirecting you toward your true inheritance. Heaven was not delaying you, it was developing you. And now the preparation is complete. This is not just provision, it's partnership. You've been chosen as a vessel through which divine circulation flows. The blessing is no longer meant to stop with you, but to move through you. You are the evidence that heaven funds obedience. God trusts you because you've proven you can be generous, even when you had little, faithful, even when it hurt, and humble, even when success was near. This is why the flow is opening now. Chosen one, get ready for divine acceleration. What once took months will now unfold in moments. People will remember your name without knowing why. Doors you never knocked on will open. Opportunities will seem to chase you. That's not coincidence, it's covenant. Heaven is fulfilling its agreement with your faith. When you moved in trust, heaven moved in timing. When you let go of fear, God released the flow. And remember this, heaven funds purpose, not pride. You are not being resourced for luxury, but for legacy. The wealth, the ideas, the favor arriving now are attached to divine assignments. You will build things that bless others, plant seeds that outlive you, and create stability for generations after you. What's coming to your hands is sacred. Treat it like oil from heaven. I've lived this truth. When I learned to stop chasing provision and started stewarding purpose, everything changed. The more I poured into others, the more heaven poured into me. It's a spiritual law, the open hand never runs empty. You are now that vessel, chosen one. You'll never have to strive again. Your flow will never run dry as long as you keep pouring. Heaven's covenant with you is sealed. The old chapter of struggle and scarcity is closed forever. You're stepping into a rhythm of grace, peaceful, precise, powerful. Every need will meet supply before it even reaches your lips. Every prayer you whispered in secret has become a command in heaven's ledger. So pause now and breathe. Feel the presence of God filling the space around you. The drought is over. The famine is finished. The flow has begun. You are no longer waiting for breakthrough. You are the breakthrough. God has signed his name on your provision. The account of heaven is open to you. Chosen. 1. Walk boldly. Live gratefully. Move with peace. You are fully funded spiritually, emotionally, materially, eternally. Heaven's covenant over your life is settled. You are not striving anymore. You are sustained. You are not chasing anymore. You are chosen. Chosen one. This is your Kairos moment, the divinely appointed hour heaven has been preparing you for. You have walked through the wilderness, endured the refining fire, and remained steadfast when others gave up. Every trial was a test of trust, and heaven has found you faithful. The season of lack is over. The time of divine funding has begun. What was once delayed is now being delivered. You are standing in the very place where prophecy becomes provision. Anointed one, lift your spirit. The same God who sustained you in scarcity is now establishing you in overflow. The drought that once drained you has become the soil of your abundance. You are walking beneath an open heaven, and the angels assigned to your destiny are already in motion. Every seed you planted in tears is now rising in triumph. Every hidden act of obedience is returning multiplied. The supernatural transfer has been activated. You are funded, favored, and free. Chosen one, stay aligned. Guard your peace, protect your gratitude, and keep your words holy. What you speak now will shape what manifests next. Heaven funds what is faithful and multiplies what is thankful. Walk gently but boldly, knowing you are backed by divine order. When you move in obedience, the waters part. When you speak in faith, the supply flows. Heaven is not improvising with your life. It is implementing every promise with precision. If this message has confirmed what your spirit already knew, pause and declare it aloud. I am funded by God. I am walking in overflow. I am standing in divine timing. Write 777 in the comments as your covenant of agreement, a visible echo of your faith. As this word settles into your heart, take a deep breath. Feel the peace wrapping around you. Gratitude seals what grace releases. May the Lord bless you and keep you, prosper your hands, and fill your days with divine favor. You are chosen, covered, and completely funded now and forever.